The following podcast you're about to hear is not affiliated with the normal people that we usually say, and it's also kind of a bonus thing. Welcome to the bonus episode entitled Obligatory Sequel. I'm Spanky at SpankyWorks on Twitter, but don't call me SpankyWorks, just SpankyWorks.
And I'm Euan O'Leary, and I'm not a theory. I don't care if you hate that catchphrase, I'm going to run it into the ground.
Just keep going with it. Just disregard all user input and go with your gut, right?
Yeah. That's how these things work.
I feel like you would be good at making video games. The people who make video games tend to do that sometimes.
Yeah, you see, if people don't like it, then I will keep doing it until my higher-ups force me to not do it, and then I will still just, promise to not do it for a while, and then start doing it again when everything's cooled down.
So the reason we're doing this bonus episode for everybody is because we haven't done an episode in 2 weeks. 2 Tuesdays have gone by without a CoolGames Inc. Vancouver episode, and that is half because we are busy people and half because we are lazy people. But actually, no, that's not true. What it mostly is, we've got guests that we want to come on the show. 2 of them specifically, and both of them are in England, and we aren't, so that makes timing a pain to do, and then just the fact that even the 2 people we want to get on the show are also busy.
We probably should mention that we've been on the Born in the 80s podcast, though, so...
Yeah. So,
I'm wondering if we're going to manage to get this up before they get their episode up.
Maybe because I don't... this episode's going to be so freeform. But we were just on the Born in the 80s podcast, that's at 80s podcast on Twitter. It was basically just the regular guest appearance. We had nothing really special to say. I talked about my first job. Euan talked about some Canadian shit, and it was a pretty good time. We did a segment called Quizbot, which was something they had brought back after a while. And then what was the other thing that we did? I
don't know. We just talked about stuff.
Yeah. It was a good podcast, and it may happen that this episode comes out before that episode comes out, but if it doesn't and we get ours out afterwards, I will put the link in the podcast description, and I'm sure that Euan will update if you listen on YouTube, it'll be in the YouTube description, and if you check our Twitter, which is at CoolGames Inc. VN on Twitter, cool with KEWL, then you will see the Twitch link. Because we did it live. You can watch it on Twitch right now, but the actual edited podcast will be tweeted out whenever it goes live.
All right, so should we get into making obligatory sequels to all our favorite pitches?
So inspired by Pixar's obligatory sequel contract that they have with Disney, where that's basically why you get all of the strange Cars 11 or whatever's out now.
Have you read the synopsis for Toy Story 4?
I haven't.
It makes me so sad.
Have you?
Yeah. It's like Buzz and Woody are going to go find Bo Peep because she wasn't in Toy Story 3, and it's like a romantic comedy type thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's almost as bad as Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Wreck-It Ralph 2? Is there a synopsis for Wreck-It Ralph 2?
Yeah, there's also a title. It's Ralph Breaks the Internet. It's about Ralph... They're leaving video games behind entirely. It's going to be internet jokes, and also... For some reason, I cannot fathom every single Disney princess is going to be in it. Like, all of them. Because... Okay,
so it's like Kingdom Hearts. That's got, all the Disney princesses. You haven't played it yet.
No.
So I probably shouldn't spoil too much. But it does have literally, the main plot element of the first game is just Disney princesses.
Yeah. What, is it like Super Mario, except they've all been kidnapped?
Yes, actually.
God, that's stupid.
No. So the Kingdom Hearts is unlocked by the princesses of Heart, and they just take several Disney, because what is the one, you have to have enough things for per world, so Disney has all these princesses. They're we'll just make the princesses the thing. But
I don't get how they could think, well, I guess we've expended all of the video game ideas we could use with Wreck-It Ralph. Now we have to leave that all behind because we clearly just milked every bit of that there was.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean,
let's move on.
I don't know, we don't have to move on. This is a bonus episode. We don't have to be on track with anything. We're never on track during the regular show. So, now we can be super
It's funny, my Wreck-It Ralph Blu-ray is, staring at me from across the room. I can see it.
Well, okay, so like the video game stuff in Wreck-It Ralph was like there were, you had Zangief as a character and Bowser, but you didn't have like super video gamey stuff. It was mostly original material, which I liked, but
it was still all based around video game culture. It was like they were in the power bar in an arcade, and all the terminology was glitches and
even
stuff.
A minimum amount of their video game stuff they could reference in a movie, let alone like all of it.
No,
so why are we jumping?
I thought it was going to be consoles. I thought that was the next step to take that in, and that there's plenty of great ideas you could do with that, but no. Guess not.
Yeah, have like Ralph is on a cartridge that's being blown by a little kid, and it's like he's got to hold on for his dear life or something like that, and then he gets plugged
also
in the console.
The idea,
and now he's like on the console, like so many things you could just do, and now it's like nope, we're doing emojis.
He's in the
Twitter.
NES port. He's in the NES port of Wreck-It Ralph, which is ever so slightly different from the arcade version, in that there's maybe a level. He's been Felix has been renamed something different. Felix is now Fixman.
Fixman, yeah. Okay, so the plot, the inspired by all that stuff, we are going to take some old CoolGames Inc. Vancouver suggestions that we pitched, and either they could have been or could not have, might not have been the main game of the episode, but we're going to try and make obligatory sequels out of them. So they may or may not have any real reason to exist, but they are almost contractually obligated. Just because just as a cash grab, essentially.
Yeah. So I want to say I scrolled through the episodes to remember what some of the ideas we had were. I forgot how good of an idea Punch Beginner was. Like an incremental upgrades-based fighting game that's purely aesthetic, but also the aesthetic is part of the upgrades, that the aesthetic has a purpose for progressing your campaign. That was a good idea. I don't know if we can actually sequel it.
Should we make a sequel and call it Kickstarter? just like reverse our own stupid knockoff name back into like the original thing.
So the spiritual successor to Punch Beginner is called Kickstarter?
Yes. So yeah, like it's gonna be like a Bloodborne, like a Dark Souls, Demon Souls kind of thing, where it's basically the exact same game. There's almost nothing different. It's just like licensing us slightly different, and we will distribute it on Fox Home Video instead of Viacom or something like that. Do you have any? Because like I don't actually like the Kickstarter one-off joke that I just made there. I don't actually want to do it. I mean, okay. I made it, but like okay, but part of the reason why is because like I feel like that was the entire joke, and now we're just gonna make it in reverse, and we have a whole episode where we make it going forwards.
Yeah, I think that was good as a one-off joke.
Okay, how about this? You know how they'll make like Soul Calibur, and it'll be like featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series or whatever.
Yeah, or Link. Or Yoda.
Yeah. So we'll do Punch. Like it'll still be called Punch Beginner. It'll just be like Punch Beginner Gold, and it'll say featuring Ashton Kutcher from one of the what other game have we put Ashton Kutcher in that would be good for that sticker?
What's the spooky one? Silent Homecoming.
The Silent Homecoming Repressed Memories. Yeah.
Wasn't Ashton Kutcher a part of Punch Beginner? I'm trying to remember what we said about him in that.
I don't remember if that's when we started. But
I'm pretty sure we mentioned him in the first episode. I don't know if it was for Punch Beginner.
No. We mentioned Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
For sure in Punch Beginner. So Conor McGregor was the celebrity in Punch Beginner. I don't think we did more.
So is it going to be maybe we have like a Pokemon the first movie situation where we re-release the same Punch Beginner, except now it's retitled Ashton Kutcher versus Conor McGregor?
Yeah, I mean I think we can do that. Did they retitle Pokemon the movie?
Am I mixed? I'm trying to remember because I know there's like
I know there was a movie with like Mewtwo's name in it, but I thought that was like the trilogy, like the direct-to-DVD trilogy or something out of that.
I know Pokemon
series.
The first movie had a bunch of names.
Mewtwo Returns. That was a movie.
Right.
Was it? What was Mewtwo Returns? Is that real? Or am I making that up? So for the first obligatory sequel, we're gonna line up in the we're gonna in the deck. Okay. Let me make a sentence out of that.
Yeah.
The first obligatory sequel we're gonna put into production is gonna be Punch Beginner, Conor McGregor versus Ashton Kutcher, and it's just the same game. And unless we forgot to put Ashton Kutcher in originally, in which case it's just the game of the I don't know if Punch Beginner would have got Game of the Year for real.
Well, I mean, I don't think like there are so many games that have Game of the Year slapped on the front that it's impossible that they've all actually been Game of the Year.
We could just have like an IGN Vancouver and give it and use that to give it Game of the Year award, and with that it'll be
review.
Technically allowed to use the GOTY. The GOTY label. So yeah, we will invent IGN Vancouver and use that outlet.
I really want that to become a running joke that we just steal any company name and put Vancouver
and then put Vancouver at the end of it. Well, I mean, yeah, we could do that for sure. So give that GOTY and then we're good. Okay. Punch a Beginner, Game of the Year edition, or if we did include Ashton Kutcher, it's Conor McGregor versus Ashton Kutcher, and then whichever one it isn't, we'll just release it with the other title in Japan.
Mm-hmm. So I have another quick idea.
Sure.
Mario Party. So first off, let's just address the fact that they stole our idea. They made
That's
Mario
true.
Party Top 100, which is we did that, guys. You took our idea and you didn't even do it quite properly.
We got a cease and we were halfway through production with Mario Party, and we got a cease and desist letter from Nintendo saying like, listen, guys, don't sue us, please. And that's what they said to us, because they're like, it was a cease and desist because they technically own it, but they know that we're so good at getting away with stealing IP that they're like, listen, guys, just please let us have this one.
We'll let you start Nintendo Vancouver. Just leave us alone.
We'll let them start Nintendo Vancouver so that they can make Mario Party. Apparently going to Vancouver just allows you to eschew all copyright law.
There are no laws in Vancouver. They after the riots in 2011 when they lost the Stanley Cup, it's been lawless over there.
It's the purge, but in Canada, so there's not actually murder, just because Canada is like just so fundamentally adverse to murder. So it's like you go there and you think there's laws, but it's just Canadian people being Canadians.
Mario Party 2 is going to be like Mario Party, except where Mario Party was every party game was a match of Mario Party. Mario Party 2, every single mini game will be a full match of exclusively Mario Party 2.
Wait, I want to stop it from being Mario Party 2 and make it instead
Mario Party 2
Party. No, Mario Party : Mario Party.
No, wait. Because if it's Mario Party 2 Party, first it makes sense because it's a Mario Party 2 Party where you're only playing Mario Party 2.
2 Mario 2 Party.
But wait. Because I didn't finish the other side of the double entendre. Mario Party 2 Party, if you enunciate it the right way, it's Mario Party to Party.
Oh yeah, so when we were on the 80s podcast, I brought up the movie Jungle to Jungle, which was not the sequel to anything, but it was Jungle, the number 2, and then Jungle, with starring Tim Allen, who we discussed in length on that podcast. But I like that naming convention. We actually are making a sequel, so it makes more sense. So Mario Party 2 Party.
You know what we should do?
I like it. What's up?
We should make a movie. First, we should make a movie called Madagascar Escape. Maybe it could be about whatever's going on over there with the Black Death right now. I've heard that's a thing.
Well, then I think they killed it, actually.
Did they? That's good. It's always good when the Black Death doesn't take over the world and kill everyone.
That's true.
Then we make a sequel and we call it Madagascar Escape 2: Africa.
Oh yeah, so they couldn't get us for that one because they didn't stop us from Madagascar Escape.
Yeah.
And that of course would be a Stardew Valley knockoff.
Okay.
Not actually anything to do with Madagascar. We just call it Madagascar Escape, and then it's basically Stardew Valley with assets flipped to just have Ashton Kutcher's face on anything else in the game that has a face.
We are on a roll with titles. If we've got Mario Party to Party and Madagascar Escape 2 Africa,
Yeah, but we can't pitch that one. We're gonna put that one in our back pockets because we have
Okay.
to make the original one first.
Mhm.
But we'll hold on to that one for any future obligatory sequels that we'll have to do. So we did a pitch, and this one I want to say was like maybe first two.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure we did it, and I'm hoping we did it, but I'm not sure if it got cut from one of the. It may have gotten cut from the editing because it was one of the ones where we went like an hour and 40 minutes into recording, and some of them sucked.
I think the only pitch we've ever cut was France Revolution, and that went up on the YouTube channel, so we should be good.
Yeah. Okay. So that must be the only one that's got cut. So we must have pitched it, and let me think.
The suspense is killing me. What is it?
Well, no. It was the jeans one.
Oh,
Jordal for me, but I'm pretty sure that the person who suggested it, they suggested one to you that was also a jeans inspired one.
Yeah, was it Liffy or Mr. Apple?
That would have been Liffy.
Okay.
So which one did they suggest to you?
They suggested
Do you remember?
Jimbo to mean, which was Gene Limbo, and it was Jordal to you, which was Gene Portal. And then what did you? It was the Jumbo.
We talked about Jimbo to like post like just when we were talking one time, but I don't think it went in an episode, did it?
No, yeah, I think it did because we talked about the concept. Because I think we talked about it between episodes and then did pitch it because I remember definitely us talking about the Brawl Mario Gene texture.
That's right. We did talk. Well, for sure we talked about that because we both really like the Super Smash Brothers Brawl Mario Gene's texture.
Well,
which
it is the best
Mario
texture
Odyssey's
in video games.
Mario Odyssey's denim texture is also very nice.
Yeah, but it's not the Brawl one. You can never recapture magic.
I mean, there's some denim there's some outfits that are like Mario Classic or whatever. There's specifically one where it swaps the color of the overalls with the shirt, so you have the red overalls, and the denim texture on that one's very pleasing. I like that one.
I have that. I know it's hard for you because you're colorblind, but looking at that for me, when I first looked at it, I thought it was orange, not red. And then, as I read the description, I realized it had to be red because it didn't make sense otherwise. But it definitely looks a bit orangey, and it throws me off every time I look at it. I'm like, is that red or is that orange? I do not trust my own eyes.
Yeah, well, I know what it's like to not trust your own eyes. Anyway, so getting to the sequel, I think we pitched Jordal, and we might have brought up Jimbo, but I'm not sure if we actually pitched Jimbo, unless we did. Because, man, I can't remember anything. Anyway, I want to do a sequel to that one.
They were both the same game, except all the textures were that texture, but they still had shaders.
I want...
Jordal
yes,
2?
That's right. I want to do a sequel of that one, but where denim doesn't exist.
Okay. So what it does exist, then? In this universe where everything was denim, what exists in the copy of this universe where there is no denim?
Okay, so I want it to be a Doom game. Maybe.
Okay.
Because I really want to just the word denim. It's such a cool word that I feel like it could be a word mark, kind of like Doom.
Okay. So you want a game
I want it to be
denim?
I want it to be extremely visceral. But okay, so like antimatter matter, if they touch each other, it's like, crazy energy gets released.
Yeah.
I want this to be a world without denim, and you're like this Terminator style character, like almost in a shooter Doom game, where you just use denim to destroy demons.
I thought where you were going with that is that it's like a Terminator type character from another dimension who appears in this universe wearing double denim.
Double denim, like a new type of denim.
No, like,
well, no,
I meant denim on
be...
denim, like denim vest and denim pants, but that
Oh,
too.
you mean like 1997 Gap?
Yeah,
denim on denim?
Yeah, denim
with
on
like
denim.
a denim hat.
There's
a Daft Punk
the brother in Stranger Things 2, brother.
Have I shown you the Daft Punk Gap commercial from like the late 90s?
Is that a thing?
if you don't remember it immediately, then I probably didn't, so I'll send it to you afterwards. But everyone else listening to this podcast, if you haven't seen it, go to YouTube and type in Daft Punk Gap commercial, and you'll get this obviously late 90s commercial where they're in like full denim jumpsuits basically, and it's hilarious, and it's just such a staple of the 90s with it being Daft Punk and so much denim that it's wonderful. Right. But getting back to the sequel, since all of the first game was jeans, this one I want to be like in a world without jeans. So it's like, whoa. And then like we can make a lot of really, really bad puns. So it's like almost like Duke Nukem level silly, but like you're going around and you kill people. You've got like denim whips and like denim machine guns that just like fire out denim, and it just like murdering all sorts of like,
and he says and as he's doing this he says, "Aw, jeans."
Yeah, well, yeah, like the one I was thinking of was like, how about a little gene therapy? And then like just like, does some crazy gene martial arts and destroys some demons or whatever. So I haven't really got a great name for it. Denim.
Enemies. Meet Denemies.
Denemies? Denemies. I'm going to call
nuts.
it Denemies. Denemies Beware. That's what I'm going to call that game.
Okay.
And that's going to be the sequel to the Jordal Jimbo saga of gene paraphernalia.
Jordal Jimbo.
All right,
Jumbo
do you have
pack.
one that you want?
Okay.
Do you have one that you want to do?
Yeah, so we talked about Peanuts Kingdom right before you went off and watched. How much Peanuts have you watched now?
I can't be completely sure. So it's got to be in the 30s. I've seen at least 30 Peanuts productions since. So like a little backstory. As an American, I of course have seen a lot of Peanuts just because it happens. It's on TV on Christmas. You've seen A Charlie Brown Christmas, and you've seen, It's Thanksgiving Charlie Brown. You've seen It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. But like the Peanuts is such a prolific, like, it was a 50-year long thing. That there's just so much of it, and Ewan is a fan of it, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna start watching a bunch of Peanut stuff. I bought on Amazon, there was like a Peanut specials compilation that you could buy on Amazon Video, and I bought that, and it had 20 episodes or 20 specials in it, and I've seen every feature except for Bon Voyage and Don't Come Back Charlie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have that feature to watch, and I watched obviously I've seen the Peanuts movie twice, once before I watched so much Peanuts, and once afterwards. So like, I'm kind of getting to where I'm versed in the Peanuts world now.
Now that you are a Peanuts connoisseur, do you think we should take another dive into Peanuts Kingdom and have another crack at making an action RPG out of this series? Now that you're more familiar with it.
I think so. So, here's the thing: the first sequel to Kingdom Hearts was a card game, but not really a card game. It was a Game Boy Advance game that played kind of like Secret of Mana, but your attacks were cards in your deck, and you just kind of played like it was a regular beat 'em up game. But like it was like Tetris, how you could see your next block that was coming up. You could see your what like the damage your next attack was gonna do, because it would like just, tip cards away as you whacked at stuff. And it was actually a really cool system, and I like it. I think that a lot of people didn't like it because of how like the first game was such mindless, like beating the shit out of stuff over and over. But this one made it a lot more like you could, make combos and like put certain cards in. Like you could order your deck, and that's always how it get brought up. So it was really cool like that. So I'm thinking for the Peanuts Kingdom sequel, you revisit a lot of the same worlds as you would in as you would in the first Kingdom Hearts game. So I'm thinking we kind of do a lot of the same stuff that we did in the original Peanuts Kingdom. We don't have to like.
So we go back to South Park. We go back to Hell. All the fun places.
Yeah, I don't remember pitching it enough to know like where we went, but like it added some new places, and it added, but the plot also got super convoluted. Like it was already like convoluted in the first game, but it kind of wrapped up its own weird loose ends, except for a few that it intentionally left open because of sequels. And then with the Game Boy game, it went all, bat out of hell, no holds barred, just go with crazy shit like that. Starting with the Game Boy Advance game was when Kingdom Hearts got fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So Peanuts, I'm thinking like, so what happens, and this is a little spoiler because I know you haven't played the games yet, but basically like the friends that you met up with that weren't Donald and Goofy kind of separate. Like none of them, it's not like a spoiler, like none of them die. It's just like at the end of the game, you're just with Donald and Goofy. So it's you and Donald and Goofy, and that's it when you go into Chain of Memories. So, okay, first of all, I already got the title, I think, Peanuts Kingdom Blanket of Memories.
That sounds good.
So like, and Charlie Brown was the main character in the first one we did, right?
Yeah, it was Charlie Brown and Linus and also Superman.
Okay, so that makes sense. I can deal with that. So Charlie Brown, Linus, and Superman they go into this mansion, and then it's like they're kind of going places, but it's what it is like in the game that I'm referencing, they like it's like they're at places they've been before, but it's like an illusion, but they still have to do it. So I'm thinking like, how they did in the Happiness is a Warm Blanket Charlie Brown, they did those like single color like animated sections that were based on comic strips, and they did like the first one that was the there goes Charlie Brown, good old Charlie Brown, how I hate him.
Yeah, they
did all of those. So I'm thinking like it's kind of like those sections of that special where it's just like they're all like in an art style that's a little bit different, kind of like that, and they basically have to fight the enemies or insecurities or whatever we ended up calling the enemies. And but it's like they're there in that same situation. So, and I feel like this isn't hard to do with Peanuts because there's so much like reused stuff.
Yeah.
But there'll be like there'll be a section where it's like Lucy at Schroeder's piano. There'd be sections like picking out a Christmas tree with all the aluminum Christmas trees and stuff like that, where there'd just be stuff like that. So basically we have to pick what levels would be good for like combat with Superman. So Superman, Linus, and Charlie Brown have to go into previous Charlie Brown strips and or specials and do a fight. So what are the good battlegrounds for that?
Okay, so first one that came to mind, Boy Named Charlie Brown, the Spelling Bee. That could be he beats up all of the Spelling Bee kids, I guess.
With spelling.
Yeah, with spelling.
He uses his powers of spelling to beat the shit out of them.
There's mini games in Kingdom Hearts, right? Like, would there be a spelling mini game in this, or like, if not,
so
we
there
can just
are
go
mini games. There are mini games, but they're all in the Winnie the Pooh world. Like, there's very few mini games outside of the Winnie the Pooh world.
We could do She's a Good Skate, Charlie Brown. That could be one where you play as Peppermint Patty, and you have to, maybe it's like a Bayonetta style gameplay where you're slicing people up.
So this is where, so this reminds me of some weird shit going on like in Kingdom Hearts. Like, you still haven't played Silent Hills or Kingdom Hearts, but like there's these weird things that'll happen in both of those games where like non-normal shit will happen, and then like, so for example, in Birth by Sleep, the PSP Kingdom Hearts game, you meet, I think, Snow White, and then like she doesn't know you, and then there's like heartless monsters come out, and you have to fight them right in front of her, and she's like super fucking terrified, and then she runs away, and then you meet up with her, and she just acts like nothing happened. So it's just like this horrifying shit happens, and then it just goes back to normal. It's like recedes from her memory. So like in the She's a Good Skate, Charlie Brown, Peppermint Patty
I just want to say,
actually...
you'd think Snow White is the most likely of the Disney princesses to be racist. So when the Japanese boy comes and talks to, then like, I think she would be a bit freaked out because different times.
And I mean, like the PSP game was weird anyway. But so okay, so like Peppermint Patty's doing her dance, and she's a good skate, Charlie Brown. And then, like, while this is happening, you have to prevent monsters from, like, killing her while she's... And, like, she's just regular in front of a crowd doing her stuff, and you're running around on the ice killing the monsters that are trying to kill her.
I am way more into the girl power idea of Peppermint Patty being the one who's taken the offensive in that situation.
I mean, I am too. So, like, you could have it be, like...
Can Peanuts Kingdom
Peppermint
2
Patty
just be...
Peppermint Patty was like a non-player character where like you can't kill them, but you have to like set them up in Peppermint Patty's path so that she can take them out.
I think that we should make Peppermint Patty the main character of this game, which means that a la Goofy in Kingdom Hearts 2, we will have a scene where Charlie Brown dies.
But it's gonna be Marcy.
But like how
Marcy's gonna die.
But like how Mickey clenches his fist and goes, "They'll pay for this." We're gonna have Snoopy clench his fist and go, "Ah, blah, 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 blah," and there will be a subtitle that says "They will pay for this." And
no, that's good. That'll be good.
I was thinking though it could have been Superman, and then we could have Superman come back with a picture of an upper lip pasted over his mustache.
I just saw that Justice League movie, and I don't want to reference it. Like I was okay with referencing it before I'd seen it, and now I'm just like, no, uninterested. So I'm thinking in this, like, for the Goofy dying scene from the second game, I want it to be Marcy dying because like when Goofy comes back, he's like, "Well, hey guys," and they're like, "Goofy," but I feel like Marcy could come back and be like, "I'm right here, sir." Because like Marcy has a like, of the children, very few have like a lot of traits as far as their speech. Like Schroeder has no traits in his speech patterns, and like most of the kids, like Linus usually has a little bit of a lisp. Charlie Brown is like exasperated. Lucy is boisterous. Like, but there's not like real traits. But then Marcy, she's got like the diction of like calling Lucille and Charles, and she calls Peppermint Patty sir. So it's like, I think that like Goofy, she's got a good enough a good enough trait to just come back with a off-screen voice, and then they all get excited.
Okay.
Superman can die and then just die though. Like that one can just be like a loss.
What if Superman dies and then he comes back with the fake non-mustache and then he dies again and then he stays dead because...
Please.
Anyway.
So yeah, that's so... They're fighting, and this is more spoilers for Channel Memories, but they're fighting toward like the leader of the mansion, which is kind of like the final boss of Channel Memories. So final boss for Peanuts Kingdom, Blanket of Memories. What do you think?
The final battle?
Final boss. Yeah. Like, what is the final boss?
I think the little red-haired girl turns out to be evil and a demon and the giant boss of the game.
What about so like this kind of weird shit happens sometimes. What if the little red-haired girls...
I had a better idea, actually.
Okay, go for it.
It's you fight an adult, and it's this horrifying monster with muted trumpets for mouths.
So it's like you're seeing what the children of of Peanuts actually see, and which is like why they always sound like muted trumpets to us. And like wah, wah, wah. But it's like to them it's normal. It's like, oh, it's an adult, but it's like a mean adult because like they're all nice for the most. I mean, sometimes they're just angry, but they're never mean, In
the nightmarish image of a Peanuts adult is just the worst thing to me right now. The idea of whatever creature
like a
has
nightmare of
mouth.
just like muted trumpets on flesh and like dark shadows pouring out of like all sorts of orifices and
they
claws
have muted
and
trumpets.
limbs.
They have a mouth with a trumpet mute in it.
Yeah, have you kind of like the from that Doctor Who episode, the whatever child.
The empty child, yeah.
And the empty child, yeah. So, it kind of like that episode, like when that dude's transforming, but he's halfway through, and the only thing is the gas mask that has popped out of his mouth.
He's going through
kind of like that, but with a trumpet mute, yeah. So like this, have you ever seen? Have you ever played Ocarina of Time?
To a certain point. I think
Have
the
you
Goron
have you gotten
village-
as far as getting the lens of truth, which requires you like going underground and fighting like undead monsters?
No. I know it's
Because there is
creepy.
this
I've
one
seen
monster.
the zombies,
Okay, well, I mean, if you haven't seen the specific zombie I'm talking about, it has a slug bottom, and then like its face is extremely scary, and it has two little like T-Rex arms
Mm-hmm.
that it uses, and then like it's like under like its feet, like you know that there's like tentacle hands sticking up out of the ground all around the map, and like you know that it's part of that monster. So like you know that the what you see on top is not the whole it's just disgustingly disturbing and creepy. So I'm thinking like something like that mixed with just a muted trumpet mutes and like various cornet related parts all over the body.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like it's not actually even that scary to the kids because like it's an adult, but it is a scary adult. It's like the equivalent of going to the gas station and seeing like a meth head who's like armed and like about to stab you or something. So it's like a scary adult, but to us it's more horrifying.
But then I think so Peppermint Patty is doing all this to save her father, who's like a normal adult, who's like, my rare gem Patty, and he's all nice to her and he gets her sandals and stuff.
Yeah,
because I like Peppermint Patty's dad.
Oh, Patty's dad is so well. I mean, Patty and the storyline with her and her father is so good.
Yeah.
So I want to just before we continue, I want to say that I like this sequel enough to just say this is the obligatory, like to have decided that this is the obligatory sequel that we like named this bonus episode after.
Okay. So it's Blanket of Freedom? Is that what it was? Blanket of Memories.
Because in the original and Chain of Memories, they lose their memories the further they get to the boss. So it's like they have a hard time remembering each other and all their friends and whatever. But like I'm just kind of eschewing that because it was kind of a stupid plot element in that game anyway. I just like the name Chain of Memories, and then Linus is Blanket, obviously. So Blanket of Memories.
Okay. There's an episode in our feed called When's Waldo? I do not remember that at all. Who is Waldo?
Oh yeah, you do. It was because the next episode. Here I am breaking our canon. But the next episode, I recorded a thing at the end that was like, because remember I had to miss a day.
I was trying to be in character and pretending because we had our memories.
Oh shit! Why didn't you fucking like message me on Discord and be like, I'm doing a thing, you dummy? Well, it's a bonus episode, so I don't have to follow lore anyway. I can break it. Hey, by the way, we're not a real video game company.
Don't tell the people that. What'll they say?
This is a bonus episode. This is fourth wall. We're out of character.
Okay.
Well, kind of in character, but kind of out of character. And I just really wanted to discuss some of the games that would have been funnier now that we've had time to stew on them in our brains. But like in the moment, we're just kind of like out of it. Like kind of like how we couldn't in Michael transactions couldn't think of any Michaels, but then like for the next day we were thinking of like hundreds of famous Michaels.
Yeah.
And that's just how that was.
Okay, I just thought of another idea just now.
Okay.
We did Trains in Space.
Yeah, we did.
Snakes on a Train in Space.
Oh yeah, that was the movie that made me go watch. What was it? Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Yeah, with Taylor Lautner in it. But yeah, so Snakes on a Train in Space.
Yeah.
Snakes on a Trains in Space.
Well, I think the plural messes it up. Also, it's
I wanted to call it that, but Snakes on Trains in Space doesn't sound good. So it's Snakes on a Train in Space. So the original was multiple trains in space. Now, like you're the final one. All have been destroyed, and you have like no weapons to take on whatever took out all of your family. And then the snakes come along and you merge.
And you are
the snakes on a train in space.
And I think at the beginning you are Samuel L. Jackson, but you are not Samuel L. Jackson from Snakes on a Plane. You are Samuel L. Jackson from Unbreakable. So you're in a wheelchair.
Yes, but the enemy. Excuse me.
You all right there?
Yeah, I inhaled an ice cube. But no, so like the like you at the beginning are Unbreakable, Samuel L. Jackson. The main enemy of the game is Snakes on a Plane, Samuel L. Jackson. And there is a neutral character who is Pulp Fiction, Samuel L. Jackson. And depending on like your telltale relationship status with that Samuel L. Jackson will either side with you or side with Snakes on a Plane, Samuel L. Jackson.
And then there's a post-credit scene where Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, goes to find Samuel L. Jackson's shaft and recruit him for the Samuel L. Jackson, the League of Samuel L. Jacksons.
Yeah, I feel like I should say that, like, as much as I ragged on Telltale, like, they just recently announced they were laying off a lot of their staff. And I feel kind of bad about it because, like, I do dislike, the rant that I went on about Telltale Games, just hating how nothing mattered. But, like, also as someone who works in the video games industry, like, it really sucks that so many people lost their jobs.
I think we should recruit all those people and have them come work for us.
That's what I was going to say. It made me happy to see that so many people were, like Bethesda and Blizzard, I think also, and several other companies were offering, not like handing out jobs, but like apply here. We're looking for a few positions. So if you filled one of those there, apply here. Mm-hmm. I was thinking like, hey, we're CoolGames in Vancouver.
Come
Telltale Games, come and apply. But I also felt kind of bad because those people just lost their jobs and it was not the right time to make that joke.
Yeah.
But now that it's been a while and hopefully all of them are now employed somewhere else.
Now that it's been a while, come make Samuel L. Jackson the Telltale series for us.
Yeah. So I think that'll be good for the bonus episode. Mm-hmm. Did you have anything you wanted to say before we signed off?
No, I think I'm good. I think I can live with this bonus episode.
Okay, good deal. I'm glad that it's good enough for you to just not die because we did it.
Yeah.
No better. It's exactly as good enough as it takes for you to not immediately be deceased because of it. So I did want to say before the next episode, our first guest on CoolGames Inc. Vancouver is going to be Demon Tomato Dave. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we might have said that before somewhere, maybe. But
I don't think we did. We made sneaky reference to Dave's videos in previous episodes.
Yeah, that's true. But... Yeah, we did do that. Anyway, so Demon Tomato Dave's going to come on our show hopefully by next Tuesday. So the first December, CoolGames Inc. Vancouver, and Demon Tomato Dave, if you don't know, has kind of a Christmassy spin on his content. So like a lot of his content is based on his Wiggle He universe, which was a long-running forum fan fiction thing. So hopefully we're gonna, since it's gonna be the first CoolGames Inc. Vancouver of December, we're going to try and get a very like holiday cheery guest. So Demon Tomato Dave's gonna come on, and we haven't decided yet if we're gonna follow old CoolGames Inc. style of like we figure out the game and then go to Dave, or if Dave's just gonna be with us the whole time, because honestly that's the Life's a Pitch way of doing it, and we might end up doing it that way too.
Yeah, it might be a bit more fun.
So we did a good sequel. Do a good sequel.
Should we do all our stuff? We are on Twitter, we're on Gmail, we're on YouTube.
Yeah, we're on Twitter, Gmail, YouTube, GeoCities on Yahoo, 1996. We're on
Second Life.
No, but seriously, if this is your first CoolGames Inc. Vancouver, then that's weird. Also, hi, but also probably listen to the other episodes since this one was so kind of strange. Yeah, but we are on Twitter at CoolGames Inc. VN with KEWL in these. And then our Gmail is CoolGamesIncVN at gmail.com. YouTube, just search CoolGames Inc. Vancouver. Make sure CoolGames is all one word together. And the Reddit, which is for the old CoolGames Inc., but also we use it and we have like our stuff pinned there, is reddit.com/r/regular CoolGames Inc.
Yep.
But no, not the word regular, just spelled normally.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for joining us, and do a good sequel.
Do a good sequel. Do a good squeakle.
Oh my god, how did we not reference Alvin and the Chipmunks?